Well, hello, LegalShield, and welcome to another edition of Monday Night Momentum. We do have a great show tonight as we talk about a subject that's near and dear to my heart, and that's about leadership. And specifically, 4 keys to effective leadership and team building. I know that one of our goals is that we want to create large teams, big teams, productive teams, successful teams, and to do that, it takes leadership growth on our behalf. And tonight I'm going to talk about 4 of the keys that you can work on in developing yourself that's going to help you be a more effective leader and eventually lead to bigger success in growing your organization. The 4 keys we're going to talk about tonight, number 1, are casting the vision. How to cast a large vision for your organization. We're also going to talk about, number 2, how to be flexible as a leader. Because there's going to be adversity and change that come your way, and how to handle that adversity and change when it does happen. Number 3, we're going to talk about being consistent. How to be consistent as a leader, not only in your attitude, but also in your actions. It's going to lead to bigger growth. And then number 4, we're going to talk about leading by example. How to step out front and lead from the front in your organization. So let's dive into number 1. And number 1 tonight is casting a large vision for your organization. In John Maxwell's books, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, he talks about casting a large vision for your organization. You know, if you will, you're the captain of the ship and, that ship is steering and it's your job to see over the horizon and cast the vision. And many of the times, you're going to be casting a larger vision for your associates than they can even see for themselves. Our job as leaders sometimes is to see more in others, that they can even see in themselves until their confidence grows, until they have a few successes under their belt, and they're able to see that same confidence in themselves. One of the trainings that I do often that I love to do is one that really talks about the difference in a thermometer and a thermostat. Because a thermometer basically takes the temperature. A thermometer just tells you what the environment around you is. But a thermostat sets the temperature. A thermostat determines what that temperature is going to be. And that's part of casting the vision. Not just to take a survey of the land around you and talk to your team and find out where they're going to go so you can determine where you're going to go, but casting the vision to decide where you're going to go first. And then part of leadership is getting the buy-in of the team, getting the buy-in of the leaders around you so that they want to follow you, so that they can't wait to get on that same path that you're on towards that leadership. You also want to help your team think big. Yeah, again, because of things that have happened in many people's past, many people have taken their dreams, their goals, their aspirations, and kind of toned them down a little bit because they don't want to have any more disappointment in their lives, or maybe they have tried to reach a goal before, maybe they've set goals before and haven't achieved them, so they tend to start bringing those goals down. Our job as a leader is to cast that big vision and help them understand so much, that they're capable of so much more than they can even imagine for themselves. And to continue to believe that for them and to cast that, positive attitude towards them, towards those goals, so that they start to believe themselves that those goals are possible. I also believe in doing what we call SMART goals. I first heard this concept from Nick Serba at one of his small business trainings, but it's a concept I've heard many times since, and that is having SMART goals. SMART standing for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, with a timetable attached to them. What does that mean? Number 1, we want to help our associates set specific goals. We'll head into 2018 and many associates will ask them what their goals are, and they're going to say things like, oh, my goal is to hit it big in 2018. I'm going to have a great year in 2018. But what does that mean? How do you measure that? How do you measure I'm going to go after it? I'm going to get it done. You can't measure. It's not specific. Specific goals are, I'm going to get my $50,000 ring. I'm going to level up to the next level. I'm going to become a manager this month. I'm going to be in Performance Club. I'm going to recruit 2 associates this month. Those are specific goals. They're also measurable. You either got your $50,000 ring or you didn't. You either went in Performance Club or you didn't qualify for Performance Club. You either recruited 2 people or you didn't. Even in activity goals, sometimes those are measured by results, but even in our activity goals, we say things like, I'm going to expose 2 people every day to the opportunity. Well, when the goals are measurable and specific, you either know you did 2 exposures today or you didn't do 2 exposures today. So you want to make sure they're specific and measurable. You also want to make sure, though, that they're attainable and realistic. You know, if you're just getting started as a brand new associate, saying I'm going to get my $100,000 ring this month is probably not attainable nor realistic. So you want your goals to be attainable, but they should stretch you. They should be realistic, but within reach, but not so close to you that it's easily attainable. You want them to be realistic and attainable, but still stretch you to do everything that you have to do to attain those goals. And then they also need to have a timetable attached to them. I'm going to get it done this month. I'm going to recruit 2 people this month. I'm going to have my $50,000 ring by the Oklahoma City Convention. I'm going to be in Performance Club by the 15th of this month. In other words, they have to have that timetable attached to them. The other thing that you want to do is you want to work on your short-term goals as well as your long-term goals. A lot of times I'll talk to associates and ask them what their goals are, and all of the goals that they give me are 5-year goals, 10-year goals. I want to leave my job in the next 5 years, or I want to do this, by the end of this year. And that's great to have long-term goals. But unfortunately, a lot of times when we have a long time to achieve something, we also take a long time to get started on those goals. Or we give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room at the beginning because we think we have so long to get it done. It's like when you have an entire semester to do a term paper, it really doesn't feel like you got to really get at it until about the last week. Well, that's why short-term goals are so important. Break down those long-term goals. If you want to have your $50,000 ring by July 1st, where do you have to be by April 1st? Where do you have to be by the end of January? What kind of January do you need to have? What kind of December do you need to have to set yourself up for the January you need to have? And then break that into a short-term goal and say, okay, in December, this is what I have to do in order to be on target to hit that long-term goal. And then break it down even further. This week is what I have to do to be on target for December. Break it down even further. Today, this is what I have to do to be on target this week, to be on target this month, to reach that long-term goal. Because now you have a sense of urgency for what you have to do today to accomplish that long-term goal. So the first step and first key in being an effective leader is understanding how to cast a big vision for your team.